Hi everyone, this is Dipankar Dutta and I am going to explain a very beautiful poem, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal, composed by one of the most well-known poets, William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth is known as a nature poet. He talks about the complicated human emotions through natural elements only. In this poem, A Slumber Did My Spirit Seal, the poet talks about the death of his beloved one, Lucy. And this is one of the five poems of Lucy, in which the poet, in the first few stanza, talks about how the death of Lucy, we can understand that in two ways, that the death of Lucy has sealed his heart and mind, and similarly, the death of Lucy has sealed the body of Lucy as well. How that has sealed the body of Lucy? Now Lucy is dead. She is not able to do any movement. She is lying like an object. But we won't say that the poet is suffering from some bitter grief. Of course, anyone would be sad at the death of his or her loved one. William Wordsworth is also sad. He is very dejected here at the death of his beloved one, Lucy. But in the later stanzas, he gets the consolation from the fact that now his lover, Lucy, his essence of life, has become a part of nature. She has subsumed into the physical universe. Okay, she has subsumed into the physical universe and has become an inseparable part of nature. Now, when she was alive, she might have a lot of constraints. She might not be everywhere, but after her death, she has gone beyond the life's constraints. She has gone beyond the life trails. She has now become more omnipresent because she has become part of the nature. So anyone among us, whether it is you or me, would be very sad at the death of our loved one. But if we get the realization, if we realize that death is something which will come to everyone, it is true that we will all feel sad. But as we know that death will come to everyone, the sooner we realize this, the much easier it will be for us to overcome the grief of having lost our loved one. Okay, so the poet also here gets the consolation. He consoles himself through the last lines when he says that now Lucy has become more omnipresent. Now Lucy is every time with him, because when she was alive, it would not be possible for her to be every time with the poet. But after her death, when she has become part of the nature, she is seen everywhere, and she is actually working as an inspiration for the poet to move on. Okay, so this is what the poem. However, this poem is an elegy. It is a sad song about the loss of one's loved one. Okay, and as we see the title of the poem, "The slumber did my spirit seal." The slumber is actually an indirect reference to death, because we should not use a direct word for something which is unfortunate, for something which is unwelcome, right? That is why a euphemism has been used by the poet, the euphemism slumber, which is a deep sleep. Slumber has actually sealed the soul of not only of the poet, the soul of the poet has been sealed by the death of his loved one, and also it has sealed his loved one as well, because now his loved one has become free. Her body has become set free from all corruptible influences of the earth, because the passing time will not affect her any longer. She will not grow older. Okay, everything has mean, when the poet has heard the news, or when he's seeing the dead body of his loved one, everything has come to a standstill. Okay, he doesn't realize what to do. He's shocked. But in the later stanzas, he realizes that now my beloved has become part of the sublime nature. Okay, and she is also rotating with all other natural elements. Okay, on the Earth's axis, all the other natural elements like soil, rocks, and trees. Right. So this way, every one of us can get or overcome the grief that we might have. At least it lessens our pain. It lessens our pain. We might not feel, we will feel dejected, there is no doubt about it, but will not break down if we show maturity. When we think that yes, death is an ultimate reality that will come to everyone. Okay, it's not a trivial issue. We are not trivializing death, but all we are saying here is that the sooner we realize that death will come to everyone and it cannot be avoided, the easier it will be for every one of us to tide over the grief. Okay, so we will very quickly discuss line by line the poem that is behind me on this board. We'll discuss this. Okay, so let us start. A slumber did my spirit seal. As I said, the slumber is a euphemism used for deep sleep. Used for, it is actually, it means, if we talk about the meaning of the word, literal meaning of the word, it means deep sleep. But it is an indirect reference to death. It is an indirect reference to death. So slumber did my spirit seal. Slumber has sealed my heart. Here we can see, we can also say that this deep sleep has sealed the poet's loved one, has sealed the poet's has sealed the poet's loved one. The poet's loved one is his spirit. Lucy is his lover, and Lucy is his spirit, the essence of his life. Now, the death has put a full stop to her life. Okay, death has sealed her. Death has sealed her, and we can also understand it this way, that the death of his loved one has sealed the soul of the poet, the mind of the poet. The poet is in a state of shock. The poet doesn't know, doesn't realize what to do. But in the later stanzas, we will discuss that a little later. Okay, so now he says, the poet says, I had no human fears. Now, what can be more devastating than the death of your loved one? What can be more saddening? There can't be anything more saddening than hearing the news of your death one, or seeing the dead body of your loved one. Okay, so the poet says that he has now no human fears, because there can't be anything else which can make him more sad than the news of his beloved's death. Okay, now his beloved's dead body is lying there, so there can't be anything more saddening. There can't be anything more saddening. So poet is saying that now I have no human fears. Now I have no human fears. She seemed that she seemed a thing. She seemed a thing that could not feel. Okay. She seemed a thing. She is lying like an object, an inanimate object, which doesn't have any sensation, which doesn't have any feeling. It cannot feel anything. It has become insensitive to any kind of activities that are happening around. He, the body, the dead body lying in front of him is now lying like a lying like an object. So it cannot feel the touch of earthly years. What the dead body cannot feel? The touch of earthly years. Now Lucy is set free from all the corruptible influences of the passing time. Okay, like as we grow, we become As the time passes by, we grow older. Okay, our skin wrinkles, we become aged. All these are the effects of the passing time on us. So here you can see that after the death of Lucy, Lucy is now set free from all the corruptible influences of the earth. So the effect of passing years will not affect, there won't be any effect of the passing years on Lucy now. No motion has she now. So she is not moving. She is, as she is lying like an object there. So she doesn't make any movement there. No force. She has no energy left. It has become completely, you know, a body which is like an object with no force, no motion, no movement. She neither hears nor sees. Okay, she neither hears nor sees. She is not able to see or she is not able to hear either. Rolled round in earth's diurnal course. Now she has subsumed into the earth, she has embedded into the earth. The poet is here imagining, the poet is here thinking, imagining that after her dead body is buried into the earth, she has become subsumed into the physical universe. Okay, we should all try to overcome the sadness that we may have because of the loss of our near and dear ones. When we lose our near and dear ones, we will definitely feel very sad, we will definitely feel very dejected. But one thing we should remember, that death is something we cannot, avoid. It will come to everyone. The sooner we realize that yes, it is something which we cannot avoid, the easier, the less painful it will be for us, and it will be much easier for us to overcome the situation, to overcome this sad and depressing situation. Okay, and you can rather get inspiration even after the death of your loved one. Okay, from your loved one only, because now the loved one has become much more grander, she has become much more omnipresent, and we can say that the dead Lucy might not have been, that she might not have been everywhere with you, but now the company of the after the death of the loved ones, after the death of the loved one, her company is felt every time by the poet. Okay, so this way the amount of pain that we might have due to the loss of our loved one will be reduced, will be lessened. Okay, so this realization has of the poet simply gives the message that we should not break down from the death of our loved one, rather we should move on, we should overcome, we can overcome this pensive state of mind whenever we think that our loved one after his or her death has become part of nature, has become part of this sublime process of nature, then we will feel very relaxed and will get the peace of mind. Okay, so this is it from me, children. Hope the whole poem has been, very well understood by you. For any questions or doubts, you can drop your questions in the comment box, and for more such interesting videos, we shall meet again. Thank you so much. Have a nice time. Bye bye.